So, Alan, I couldn't help but notice on the social medias that your family participated in one of those challenge things that's so hot right now.
So hot.
Oh, the kids with their Instagrams. No, I saw you did an egg challenge of some kind with your family.
That's how my family got started, an egg challenge, Rob. I won.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we did a challenge where you boil half a carton of eggs
Uh-huh.
and then pick somebody to grab an egg, and you find out whether that particular egg is hard boiled by cracking it open on your head.
And you really can't tell, or is it the kind of thing where kids can't tell whether it's hard boiled or not? Because I have not juggled eggs lately that are both hard boiled and not.
You could not tell, as far as I can tell. I'm telling you.
You know what's not great about that challenge is I don't want a hard boiled egg crashed on my head either.
It's a little like stoning,
Self-stoning.
but you smell worse. So it's got that going for it.
What a society we've become.
It's time. Time for a thrilling story of romance, adventure, mystery, anything with an expired copyright. It's time for another Interrupted Tale.
Hello. Welcome back to the show that usually ends. It's another episode of Interrupted Tales, the podcast where my friend and I take turns reading stories, and then somebody interrupts. I guess that's the gist of it. It's a little hard to remember, to be honest. But I know that I'm joined by my good friend, Rob. Rob, how are you?
I am well, Alan. I'm so happy to be here. I can't remember the name of the show, but, I'm really glad to be here.
Yep, those broken fables. It's the top-rated podcast on E-Moons. E-Moons?
E-Moons? What is E-Moons?
E-Moons is a crossword puzzle answer that you have to type a lot. And then you're like, is it E-Moons or is it Moams? I don't know. You got to use context clues, Rob. Anyways, we've got a story today.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy old tale called Escape by Paul Ernst. And it's from the July 1938 edition of Weird Tales magazine. Did you know anything about Paul Ernst, Rob?
He was a writer guy. Nothing too exciting. He did invent the ruffled potato chip.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
He really just wrote a bunch of stories for pulp magazines. That was pretty much
Okay.
it.
Listen, if you're not going to invent a new way to fry potato chips as a shape form, a second-rate writer in a pulp magazine is really the best runner-up.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Great. Well, we're here and we're going to encourage you to lay right back in your coffin-like bed thing. I'm not going to call it a crypt. I'm going to call it maybe a lack of sunroom. Not saying you're a vampire. I'm just saying put the shades up. You know what I'm saying, right?
Guillermo.
While we read you this week's tale. He had the craziest form of craziness I've ever seen.
Hulkamania?
That's more the wackiest form of wackiness. And I mean whack in several ways.
Oh, Whack Attack?
Whack-a-tactical, yeah. Of course, I hasten to add, I hadn't seen much. I'd been through an asylum once before, as now, to get a story for my paper on treatment and conditions of state inmates. And it was a real upper of an article, too, I could tell you.
I can imagine the editor in the bullpen like, all right, I got a big story for you. Big story. It's going to sell so many papers about treatment and conditions of state inmates.
I want something with some real bite to it, like the guy who ate a whole bunch of hot dogs route.
That's good news, damn it.
It's the best kind of news.
People love it. People love it. They eat it up, Al.
Exactly. And that was all. On that former trip, I'd witnessed nothing like this, nor had I till now on this trip. The man didn't look crazy.
At first.
Well,
it's setting the stage.
you're really foreshadowing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe he's not crazy, Alan. That's the creepiness of the story. Is he crazy? Is he not story?
I just want to note that you're foreshadowing the plot of a story that is literally subtitled A Brief Weird Tale About the Escape of a Madman.
Well,
So I know I didn't read that part to the audience.
they don't know. That's a peek behind the curtain now.
Okay, we're going to have to cut this then. So often, they don't. He was a medium-sized chap with gray in his hair and a look of sadness on his thin, mild face. A look of sadness and determination.
A look of determined sadness. The Eli Manning story.
Yeah, it's not as good as a look of dumbfounded success. The Peyton Manning story. Neatly dressed, precise of movement, he was very busy in his cell. He paid no attention for a while as the guard and I stood at the barred door and watched him. He's gonna, what's he gonna do?
I like it. I like it when they don't notice us. Cause,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Then we get the real look at the inmates. Yeah, we see them sitting there, reading,
Yeah.
writing letters.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's steamy stuff.
He was building something.
Everyone laughed when I said I was going to carve a teleporter out of a bar of soap. But who is laughing now? And definitely not the spider fairies that talk to me in my dreams.
Okay.
Someone's got to grant wishes for spiders.
Oh, I don't like the idea that they have wings, Rob. That's putting me in a whole other scary place.
I gotta say, it's the only good thing about spiders is they don't have wings. Because forget it. This planet would be over. We just have to close the whole shop.
Yeah, I'm about ready to shut it down anyways, Rob. So
I think a lot of us are.
I'm gonna have to talk to Earth's manager. He would pick up a tool, adjust it carefully, work with all the delicacy of a watchmaker for a moment. Then he would lay the tool down and pick up a gauge and check his work. Wow, they got a whole caliper set for him in here, huh?
Well, you're not allowed to bring a lot of things into prison, but you're allowed to bring your invisible calipers.
Oh,
That's the
yeah,
one
no,
rule.
the tolerances on crazy guy machines, that's precision stuff.
Precision is where the madness happens, Alan.
All very accurate and careful.
It sounds like a lot of work, but if you know of a better way to set up the board game Mousetrap, you'll have to tell me.
The whole point of Mousetrap should be to set up the Mousetrap. Like, that's how
Yeah.
you should win the game Mousetrap, is to set up the Mousetrap.
That's the perfect idea.
Hands up, I did it.
Yeah, because there is no worse return for your efforts than playing Mousetrap after setting it up.
The only thing was that you couldn't see what he was building. Yeah, they love that. Boy, they love you just huddled in a corner, doing a whole bunch of stuff that they can't see.
Yeah, it's prison guard's favorite.
Yep. And you couldn't see any tools, nor gauges, nor workbench.
Or you in the word gauge.
I see it's gaggies.
I didn't see a gaggies at all.
Which, ironically, there were a whole bunch of gaggies.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the twist of the story.
Yep. There was nothing in the cell but the man and a bolted down cot and chair.
It had probably been cruel to make the toilet invisible, but this wasn't the greatest asylum.
Is the water visible?
Yes.
Or is it just that this is always the thing that I've wondered about Wonder Woman's jet.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless, the fellow was extraordinarily industrious. He would seize a non-existent tool, examine it with a frown, and then use it on thin air, after which would come the inevitable measuring movements. Yeah. The thing about inevitably measuring a non-existent tool is that once you get past 4 or 5, right, right?
It is inevitable.
I mean,
Alan.
it could
It's
be
true.
6. It could be 6, but like we all know it's not 9.
Oh God! And please do not drop the screws
Ugh.
when working with
Nevertheless,
invisible. You're never going to find them.
it certainly looks, I said in a low tone to the attendant, as though there should be something there.
I don't know, maybe a doctor or at least a monkey made out of screen and wire to cuddle. Something. The guy's clearly not well.
The attendant grinned and nodded. Grinned? Yeah, that's a good one. Boy. Yeah. And I continued to watch, fascinated.
You know, it's not often you get a chance to watch an insane mime, so you should drink it all in. His "help, I just swallowed a pint of battery acid in the middle of a conversation with a pigeon" is amazing, but fair warning, you will get wet. It's invisible, though, so you're the only one who knows. Doesn't make it better. Does not make it better, trust me.
Oh, that's too bad. You could follow the man through his whole box of tools from his rational movements. Now he was boring a hole. Obviously, a very small hole. Yeah, obviously.
Obviously a small hole.
What's wrong with you? What? That's clearly a quarter inch at the most.
Oh,
idiot.
most.
With a tiny metal drill equipped with an egg beater handle. Well, now, wait a minute.
He could be doing a lot of things. He could be playing with, what are those things called?
Lincoln Logs?
No, the thing you turn
A
and it
Rector
pops
sets?
up. No, the thing you turn and like something pops out and scares you, you know. Doot, doot, doot,
Teacup?
doot, doot. Teacup? A teacup?
Well, it turns and something could pop out and scare you.
All right.
I don't know.
I'll think of it later when I'm being funny.
Great. I'm looking forward to that. Now he was just touching his surface with a file.
Now he was writing an angry letter to IKEA because I didn't give him enough screws for his Billy bookcase.
They're not made with screws, Rob.
Wait, they're not?
They're purely fastened with the idea that they might hold together. It's a mental construct that you share with all the other IKEA owners. It's a fundamental physical force, Rob. The only will last one apartment's worth force.
Brilliant how they developed it.
Now he was sawing something else, after which he took the sawed part from an imaginary workbench and tried in its place. Whatever and wherever that was.
Just somewhere. He knows where.
Near the vulva? Is that where?
I don't even think it exists. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I got still another glimpse of unity of effort as I watched him. Yeah, it seems like everybody's pitching in. What?
Well, the invisible workers.
The spider fairies.
The spider fairies. They're helping.
Yeah, you just need to leave out shoes and fabric and flesh for them to lay their egg sacs in. Ugh. Each little period of accurate workmanship ended with a trip 4 steps to his left, to a corner of his cell which was bright with sunlight. There, his motion said, was the thing he was working on.
The first Coke Freestyle soda fountain.
Ooh.
Everything tastes a little weird, but it's nice to be able to mix a little invisible grape flavor into your invisible Coke Zero.
There was the object, slowly growing bit by accurate bit, which he was making and assembling. How do you, can you really tell that he's not taking it apart, though? Like, I mean, how do you know he just isn't using an invisible claw to put something on an invisible high shelf?
That's the eternal question.
It was uncanny. There simply ought to have been something there. A cabinet, chair, whatnot. And there wasn't.
Nope, not even the chair.
No,
It's because it was bolted on the other side of the room.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it wasn't there. It was over on the other side.
Oh, seems unlikely that was the case, but I guess I'll take your word for what not even the chair would do. The man slowly screwed in an imaginary part to an imaginary hole and laid down his imaginary screwdriver.
Uh-huh.
This guy, he's going to write the jokes for us, I guess.
We should just pack this whole thing up.
And walked to the door, for the first time acknowledging our presence there.
Oh my God, you weren't watching all of that, were you? You didn't see the part with the screwdriver, did you?
that whole process is imaginarily proprietary, and I've got an imaginary patent on it. So I'm going to have to ask you to sign an imaginary NDA, which is written on real paper, but you use invisible ink. Hello, Nick, he said to the attendant.
Sorry,
Hi, Nick. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Nick, how's your mom? What's going on, man? We haven't talked in a while.
Hey, what? I've been so busy with this completely intangible project that I haven't been able to ask you how you're holding up during this tough time for all of us. Boy, just one of the worst periods in our life. I've just gotten so engrossed with absolutely nothing, which I think we can all relate to. His voice was as mild and as sad and as oddly determined as the rest of him. Hello, said the attendant affably.
So, enjoy. We finally have what we always wanted, a partnership with a friendly government. Your father used to smuggle molasses trucks for me in the war.
Wait, what?
Now for Prohibition. Sorry.
Oh, my God. His good-natured broad face turned from the man in the cell toward me. Meet Mr. Freer, Mr. Gannett. Mr. Freer's with a newspaper.
And Mr. Gannett is with USA Today, which is almost a newspaper.
Sick burn.
Oh, ouch. Oh, they're feeling that in the days in today.
I mean, the Days Inn has used them to stop up the gap between the door and the outside so that you don't smell that weird smell from the hallway. It's complimentary.
Once at a Days In, I got in the shower and water started coming out of the ceiling when the person got in the shower above me. And it was the most horrifying thing that's ever happened.
You mean like a trap door?
I don't know what. I think where the cameras were, they hadn't stopped up everything completely.
Oh, okay.
So, some of the water was leaking. You got to be careful when you're putting things behind a mirror at a Days In.
Oh, said Gannett politely. He put out his hand so that I could shake it if I reached through the bars of his door a little. I hesitated and then grasped it. It didn't look dangerous.
The 5-inch invisible shiv sticking out of my torso moments later proved me very, very wrong.
How are you doing with your, what's it, Gannett? The attendant said, nodding solemnly toward the bright corner where lay the object of the man's attentions.
I will thank you, sir, to call my newest invention by its proper name, the Wang Doodler.
It's good, but I think it needs a little more oomph. Why don't we call it the Wang Dang Doodler?
Oh, nailed it!
Wang Dang Doodler.
All night long.
Yeah.
Invisible in my cell. I can see just as well.
Wait, what? No.
Just take a look. It's not in the
Oh,
book.
how did we get there?
Invisible prison.
Oh, man. Pretty well, said Gannett. This damn floor isn't quite level. It's 3/32 of an inch to the foot off. Oh, God, this poor guy's got to work in the Imperial system?
It's invisible. He's using Imperial, and the floor's crooked.
He's got imaginary tools and he can't switch to metric? I have to allow for that in every line and angle, and it makes it needlessly difficult.
Plus, it makes my Marble Olympics track veer way off course. I'll never be able to stage the final like this.
Nope, that's patented there, Rob. Actually, it's not patented. What is it? What's the term when you've completely bought an entire government out from their laws about the usage of the term Olympics? What is that called? Anarchy?
Something like that. Yeah.
What is it you're building? Asked Nick wheedlingly. You won't tell any of us, but won't you tell Mr. Freer for his newspaper story? There it is, shrugged Gannett, pointing to the corner. See for yourself.
It's right behind all the invisible Cheeto bags and soda cans. I'm sorry, I kind of live out of my cell.
He sure does. Well, no, he lives in his cell. I mean, he doesn't live out of his cell, or their security's pretty lax, I guess.
Oh, it's not the end of the story, Alan. As you said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I stared involuntarily at the corner, then, feeling like a fool, back at his mild, sad face. Was there a ghost of a twinkle in his gray eyes? Or was that a spider fairy? Was that a spider
fairy?
fairy?
Oh my God, in his eyes?
Oh, I just saw it. Oh,
I'm not
no.
going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep.
Or was it my imagination? I couldn't tell. I was beginning to feel a little crazy myself.
Oh, well, that's great. That means he's going to survive because he's going to get a little crazy. Good for him.
Song lyrics, yes. Maybe it was just the ketamine that I was trying. I wanted to make sure that the conditions and the medications that they were giving them were on the level. Let me tell you, the ketamine is chef's kiss.
The whole walls were invisible, man. It was great.
We walked away. The big library and lounging room where the almost cured could sit and read was left for me to see. The almost cured, the smoked ham of the healthcare world.
Well, that's what this prison does. So some prisons, they make license plates, and some they produce farms. They have farms and things like that. This is one of your classic smoking prisons.
Sure. Yes, and please, Mr. Fair, don't look too deeply into our use of the word pit masters. It's 100% totally related to barbecuing. But I looked around without much interest as we passed through. Those poor saps, I couldn't give a F about them.
Reading visible books, please.
Show me a new trick pony. I kept thinking of Gannett. Boy, that guy had something.
Gannett.
What an act.
Mr. Freer Gannett.
Yep.
I like the sound of that.
Right. Has he been going through that set of motions very long? I asked the attendant.
Yeah, ever since we delivered that giant invisible box of parts to him, man, that was heavy too. That's when he started building an imaginary thing. And, I didn't think, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's really, I think that could be, nope.
Jack in the Box.
Sorry, wait, what?
A Jack in the Box is thing you turn like an egg beater. You turn the handle around like an egg beater, and then something pops out after it plays a little song. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Yeah. I'm working over here, Alan, working.
He started right after he got here, said Nick. That was a year ago. He came here raving, trying to fight free and get back to the house where he'd lived with his son and daughter-in-law. There was something in his room he had to get, he said.
Must delete browser history.
Oh, you don't have a porn buddy?
Porn buddy?
Isn't that what it's called?
I have no idea. What is it?
What do you... Browser...
I think, don't they have a thing that,
What's
like,
it called?
Is that a thing like when you die, it deletes your browser history?
No, I mean, it's a person.
Because this is my idea. We attach it to pacemakers, okay? So for the older set, and then you can Internet of anything. They want to turn off the fridge when they die. They want to get a pot of coffee going when they die. They want to delete their browser history. It's all connected.
Am I abusing the fair usage policy by quoting from this book?
I think we're safe, counselor.
Okay. Nowadays, some people even have what is called a porn buddy, tasked with locating and destroying any such dubious material before loved ones find it. Obviously, their primary role being to delete browser history straight away.
All right, Alan, I'm going to need all your passwords. I'm now your porn buddy.
Hold on. I got to read more about Mrs. Lavender's diary. Now I'm sucked in.
Lady Lavender's diary.
Forget escape. Now I'm into Police Arrests and Suspects, the true story of a frontline officer by John Donahue.
What?
Hey, have you ever seen that, call it, Homicide Hunter?
No.
It's the title of a show based on the true police record of Joe Kenda, Colorado Springs homicide tenant.
Uh-huh. No.
Oh, okay. Then that's not gonna be funny then. You're telling me they have a history of fighting and arguing all the time? Well, I just got a new suspect.
Is that the line before every commercial break?
You're telling me that this guy sits in a corner
Ah.
and works with invisible tools? Well, I've got a new murder suspect.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's got a real bad comb over.
So it's just like reenactments, and he tells about what happened.
He narrates his old cases, which are reenacted.
Wow, and there are that
Yeah.
many episodes in Colorado. I mean, how much
Oh,
crime in
my
Colorado
God.
Springs?
Oh, it's so many. It's so many seasons. But now they move on to the cases that are really peripheral.
Did that girl totally steal my daughter's look? It seemed like I had another suspect.
That's pretty good. Here's one case. Okay, here's the thing: what you get 6 seasons into a real life police detective's case files.
And they're all his. They have to be his. That's the premise of the show.
Well, that's the premise of the show until they ran out of cases. Is that they really got to scrape the barrel at some point. Here's an episode. Okay. Okay, hold on. There's an episode where they are treating a suicide as an actual possible homicide case because they can't find the murder weapon. And the big breakthrough, the big breakthrough on the case is that they move the body slightly from the bed it's laying on and found that the gun had fallen slightly underneath the dead person's body. Okay, it's
So
just
now it's definitely a murder.
No. No, it wasn't suicide. The kid couldn't find the gun, and it was such a mystery. How could it be solved? And then they moved the body a little. And then they're like, oh, the gun. Oh, it's right here. It's under his ass. You've broken the case wide open, Officer Kenda. I'm going to submit your name to the police commissioner.
All right. I got a new idea here for you. Okay, we're running out of ideas, right, for the next season? Okay, what if we do what if? What if we weren't complete morons? Okay, we could show how this. It would do 2-minute episodes.
You're telling me you just found the gun underneath this guy's left thigh? Well, I'm thinking case closed.
I'm thinking Arby's.
Then he calmed down, and next day began going through the routine you saw. Some days he works only a few hours, sometimes all day long, and up until lights out at night.
It sounds like the only crazy thing around here is this guy's work ethic. Oh, and the guy in the cell next to him ate all those nuns.
That's a bad habit, Rob. No?
I got a problem with you, Alan.
Sounds like you're a guy that makes a lot of puns. Guess who just moved up the suspect list? The way he puttered around that corner made me think I was off myself for not seeing something there, I said. It was amazingly realistic for something that had no substance at all.
Hey, you got to admit, Alan, it looked exactly like real invisible things.
You're right, Rob. It's indistinguishable from them. As though you could surely feel what he was working on. Oh, teledildonics. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's not there, but you sure can feel it.
Sure can feel it, yep.
Even if you couldn't see it. Has anybody ever felt around that corner where he spends his time?
Wow, this reporter is... Thank God you came in here, buddy.
If you looked under the body, there might... I know that the gun may seem invisible, but like if you just reach under there...
Yeah. No. I know the floor is wet in front of him, but I really just think we should look under his leg. Right under there where there looks like something's there.
Hey, boy, said Nick. Easy now. Pretty soon we'll be sending a wagon for you.
Nah. We're a union shop. Feeling corners sounds like overtime talk.
But has anybody? I persisted, smiling. You know, like any sort of dashing reporters with a sense of elan, kind of very handsome, but, in a rugged way. Have they just gone in there and, swiped at the air? Has anybody done that? No?
Nope. There's a Pulitzer in this for you. For the first man to go in there and feel something.
No, that's the one thing that brings out Gannon's kink.
Well, that and watching Lizzo eat French fries. I'm not sure why, but I don't mind when she visits.
I'm not sure why she visits.
I don't know either. I think it's a mutual thing. He likes to watch her eat French fries. She likes to watch him watch her eat French fries.
Well, if Chris Evans could get in on that action, boy, that would be something. If anyone gets too close to that corner, he gets quite violent. So we don't even clean there.
Oh, this is the best asylum ever.
You're
You're just like, hey guys, you just put a little thing on your bars, say you don't need housekeeping today. And they listen to it. It's fantastic.
We're trying to cure these folks, not upset them needlessly.
Alan, this sounds great. Let's book it for our next Airbnb.
We went out the massive door of the main building where a stalwart attendant eyed us sharply. There were nicely kept grounds, and then a high fence with an inward slanting barbs. There were nicely kept grounds, and then a high fence with inward slanting barbs on its top. You don't want anybody to escape from here, do you? I said.
Once again, our fearless ace reporter is ready to cover all the bases and ask the tough questions. You go, Scoops McDum-Dum!
Now get this. They're trying to keep the mental patients in.
Oh, why didn't we think of that before?
I said, nodding to the heavy door and the high fence. the aforementioned heavy door and high fence. Nick grinned. Nope. And nobody ever has. Or ever will, I reckon. How foreboding. By the way, see you in church. Wait, what?
Yeah, it actually says see you in church.
See you in church. Is that an expression to people?
It's like see you next Tuesday of the 30s.
Okay, that's an idiom. It's dated. Goodbye. I'll see you again soon or at the normal place or time. Uncommon. When not used to literally refer to attending church services. Then it's not an idiom. No. That is just a statement. The Free Dictionary by Farlex. I'm not sure I trust this.
That sounds like a Russian op to me.
Yeah, 100%. But he saw me sooner than that.
Because it was the church bake sale the very next day. Oh. Shit, I forgot my bag of snickerdoodles.
You put them in a bag? Yeah. Are you selling them by the bag? Because that doesn't sound like a good plate presentation.
Oh, no, it really works. The kids love it. They get to put them in the little bags. They wrap it up with little messages, like Jesus loves you and go to hell. And
well, that's the opposite of see you at church. I kept thinking of the spare, mild-mannered man with the sad, determined eyes all evening after I'd handed my story into the paper.
The headline? Asylum seems pretty chill. No. It's all right.
Slow news here. I kept thinking about him next morning. And next afternoon saw me at the asylum again, standing in front of Gannett's barred door. He was as busy as he had been yesterday, but his activity seemed more mental than physical today. It seems mental, yes.
He's doing invisible thinking.
He would stand in the center of his cell, hand rubbing jaw, while he stared at the sunny corner. How's it get in here? Magnets. Then he would walk to the corner and touch a spot in midair with an inquisitive forefinger.
The theremin's supposed to be working, but I don't hear anything. There we go. Now I just do it at the right frequency to break bars. No. It works!
Then he would step back and survey the atmosphere again, eyes running slowly up and down as though over the lines of a quite tangible thing.
Yeah, like a lady or a
Yes.
rock
Oh.
or a bed or really anything at all that's tangible.
Sure. A tangerine.
Ooh, tangerine lady.
Tangerine lady, green-eyed lady.
Bringing citrus with her charms. Do, 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 do.
This is the hottest kind of ladies. Tangible ones.
Nectar ladies.
Finally, he took something out of his pocket and walked with a more decisive air to the corner. I saw his hands move close together, for all the world as though he were adjusting a micrometer or other delicate measuring device.
Or an enormous pair of chattering teeth.
I think he means micro footage.
Micro what?
He's in the imperial system.
Got any new math jokes?
I understand it's called a micrometer. I like once again, that really doesn't speak to the overall size. Okay, that's not an indicator of how long it could be, the micro part of it, right?
Yeah, it could be a very
Yeah.
big machine designed to measure
Right.
small
It could be
things.
a lot of micrometers, is what I'm saying.
You know what it could also be, Alan?
Yeah.
A micrometer.
That doesn't work with my joke.
Yet it's probably correct.
It's a tough call. He applied his hands to the questionable point in nothingness.
That's like my philosophy degree right there. The questionable point in nothingness.
A hell of a novel. What is that?
Yes.
Jonathan Safran Foer novel?
Yeah. It's set in a loud explosion of questionable points in nothingness. Yeah.
As he had done yesterday, he paid no attention to observers at his door. At first. But finally he spoke without looking up from his task. Hello, Freer.
Oh, Alan.
Yeah.
Freer.
Mm-hmm.
Freer. The writer's using some symbolism.
Yeah, and if it's backwards, it's rear. Yeah.
Now that's deep.
Even better.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I said.
Hello, I said.
Hell of a dialogue. Gannon had an unimpaired memory, at any rate.
From yesterday.
Yeah, it's not that impressive. Then again, I think you'd say that about everything so far.
Unimpressive.
Come for another story? In a way, I evaded.
I mustn't let him know that I want the first panini from that invisible press he's making.
It's a leap, but it's one I'm willing to get behind.
It's sandwich related. I'm always
Sure,
willing
it's
to get
gotta
behind it.
be, right?
Yeah.
It always smells like toast in here. What else could it be?
Smells of toast and melting.
Yeah. He shook his head, meanwhile stepping a foot to the right and staring critically at nothing.
The staring critically at nothing?
Yeah, like reviews of Dear Evan Hansen.
Well, it is an old story. A far too old story.
I don't see how you stand it. Stand what? Your work. The madness and despair of humanity. That's your stock in trade. You deal in war and famine and flood and occasional puff pieces about social injustice and political and civil brutalities.
Oh, no. I write for BuzzFeed. You're part of our you won't believe what these crazy people think they're building list.
Wait.
Mm-hmm. Kanye's number 3.
Yeah.
You won't believe.
They're the intimate facts of your life. I don't see how you can live among such things. I can't even read about them. Because they don't give me paper. I think you can see that the only things in here you can't see. I stared at him. I never met a man who seemed less crazy. What?
This guy's met Phil Spector, so he knows how to judge people. Yeah, I mean, after talking about madness and despair and war and famine, yeah, he doesn't seem crazy at all.
This guy gets it. Wow. Yeah. We're going to be best friends. I know it, dude. I know it, dude. Yeah. Oh, no, really? You're busy? It seems like you're just in the cell the whole time. No, I mean, I get it. You got a lot of stuff going on, but maybe we'd hang out. Okay, no. All right. That's fine. You can call the guard and say, "Yep. Okay. Well, I'll just come back in a few." No. Okay. Guess we're not going to be best friends.
It's hard to plan when it's 5 or 7 years.
Whether you face the facts intimately or detachedly, I said, they are still facts, and they're still there. You can't avoid them, but you can. At least I can, and I'm going to. I'm getting out of all this.
And then I'm joining Shields and Yarnell. They'll appreciate my skills.
It sounds like a law firm.
Shields and Yarnell?
What is Shields and Yarnell?
They were popular, and I mean this literally, popular.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
They were a popular mime duo of the 70s.
Mm-mm.
Nope. No challenges. No challenges, counselor. You tread carefully. They're real.
Yeah, but real popular?
At the time, they were on things, which is a lot that you could say. You can't say that about other mimes, Alan. You cannot say that about other mimes.
Listen, I'm pretty sure almost all mimes are on something, Rob. They gotta be. He squatted on his haunches and began running his hands.
The invisible toilet. Now I know where it is.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it, please. I'll just write that. I'll just record it for posterity then. I mean, our readers want to know.
Yes. Does it turn invisible when it goes into the toilet, or can you see it?
How do you know which way the water is turning? That's it. How would you know?
That's my first question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first question and my last question. He squatted on his haunches and began running his hands slowly over space, up and down, then horizontally. He straightened and repeated the process. I'll swear I could make out what he had in his mind. It was a sort of chair, a very high back and unusually high arms.
Wow. If anything's crazy, it's this guy's posture.
Correct. Just as I had decided this, he sat in it. Okay, well, I mean...
Guy sat in a chair. It was an invisible chair, but still, not exactly groundbreaking.
I mean, it'll probably make it to the top of r/black magic fuckery, but that's because that stuff's really gone downhill. You've seen stage tricksters sit in chairs with arms folded when there are no chairs there to sit in.
Sure. Who hasn't? I mean, it's 1938. We're all pretty easily amused.
Amused.
Amused bouche.
Amused bouches.
Yes.
Actually, you've heard about it on the radio, which was almost as thrilling. Well, this was the same. I gaped at Gannett. Well, this was the same.
It was the same. Yep.
It's
same as an illusion.
Shouldn't it be better?
Well, between real invisibility and having all that time, it should be better.
Actually, it's like Hollywood effects. You know, if they really sat in a chair, it's not that exciting. So, but on the stage, they had squibs and smoke, so you really get a sense of where the chair was.
Wow, that is sitting.
Not an impossible stunt, but always an arresting one. He got up and came to the door. I can't take life as it's lived today, Gannett. A weakness, no doubt. But there you are.
You know, it only took being locked away in an insane asylum to discover his greatest weakness. Getting locked away in an insane asylum.
So. So you're getting out of it, I nodded. So I'm getting out of it. It's not for nothing that I'm a mathematician and an inventor.
And those guys are flush with cash at all times.
And real ladies, man. I think you could tell that. What a shame. I almost said it aloud, but didn't. I'd conceived a positive fancy for the sad-faced Mr. Gannett.
That's our Freer. Always falling for the ones he emotionally can't get to.
Yeah,
Or get through the bars to.
right. The emotions are secondary, I think, in that situation. He stared at me quizzically. You needn't hunt up Nick, he said. I'm not hinting at suicide. It's a more literal escape, I mean. Escape? With these barred doors, the high wall outside, which I will mention again for perhaps the third time in this story.
Well, they do have all their screen doors they use. And I'm not sure why. Someone should really write a letter.
Oh, walls. Bars. He waved his hand, dismissing them.
I knew them, Horatio.
He walked back to his study corner and resumed his critical ocular and manual examinations of nothing. You may have another story tomorrow, Freer, he said mildly. And then he turned his back, thereby dismissing me as he had the walls and bolts of his confinement.
The follow-up story did get published, but the headline, Asylum Slightly Creepier Today, didn't really work.
You're not going to win him the Pulitzer, Rob.
Nope.
I hunted up Nick on the way out. I felt like a traitor, but I knew it was for my new friend's own good.
Oh, they're buddies.
This guy gets really attached to the people in his stories.
Yeah, he married that lady for 8 years when he was just asking about her bake sale win.
That's how the whole snickerdoodle escapade started. Again, it's talking of an escape, I said. Nick's customary grin appeared on his broad face. Forget it. He's handed out that line before. Nobody could get out of here.
I mean, it's crazy. It takes some kind of super strong Native American guy with the will to escape that only the smothering a dead friend could give him. I just don't see it happening. What are the odds?
I said the same thing about a Nurse Ratched season 2.
What? Who's watching Nurse Ratched?
It's coming, I guess. See, Ratched season 2 promises to take Nurse ... to dark places.
Oh my god!
I thought it was a rom-com. What?
It's like Cruella. You know, they were going to redeem her and make her fun.
We can't make her a dog murderer, but can we let the audience think she's a dog murderer for a good portion of it, and then be like, she didn't really murder those dogs.
And then it's okay. Yeah.
Joke's on you for thinking she was going to murder those dogs.
Yes, it's all great.
He walked to the high gate in the fence with me and waved as I got into my car.
See you at the Christmas pageant, Nick. That's my new idiom. How about that? Yeah? Yeah? Is it going to work?
I wasn't coming back anymore. I didn't want to see Gannett again. He was such a nice little guy. But next noon saw me knocking for admittance a third time.
Knock 3 times when you want to be crazy.
On behalf of the audience, I'm going to give you a chance to do better, Rob. So.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for the challenge. Okay.
He's knocking for admittance a third time.
1.
Summoned by Nick.
2.
To an insane asylum.
3 times a crazy.
Good effort. Good effort.
Thank you.
Got an exclusive for you if you want it, he said. An escape.
Ooh, does it involve pina coladas?
And infidelity. It also involves infidelity.
Yes, it does. Well, kind of.
Like prospective infidelity.
Yeah, I mean, is that really a crime? You don't arrest people for trying to murder someone.
I got a little note here, Rob, from the legal department.
Okay.
Says you do.
Oh, it's gonna really reduce my letter
Is that a
writing.
problem for you?
Yeah.
I guess I won't see you at the Christmas pageant then, Rob.
See it, you daughter's bar mitzvah. I tried that one too.
I don't know that it's very important to you, but we've never had one before. That might make it worth a couple of inches. Well, again, for a third time, I do want to say that it's really hard to measure when it's invisible.
Absolutely.
Okay?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, he has an invisible. You have to assume he has an invisible tape measure.
There's a wide margin of error there.
Yeah.
Escape, I said. Yeah, you're Mad Gannett. So he did it. But how? Nick grunted. Suppose you tell me.
Look, I got to be honest. Most of my reporting is based on the Shawshank Redemption, and I'm just going to guess it's not like that exactly. So,
Really?
Is it? Is it?
Is it?
Did he crawl through poop?
Is that the stinky poo hole? That the little poo? Is it a big slip and slide with through a pipe?
It comes out with the lightning.
Stinky guy. Rita Hayworth is holding your nose. In the night? I asked. Well, I can tell you whenever you want, Nick. It doesn't.
Well, it's sometime between when you were here and when you're now.
He shook his head. A little while ago, in broad daylight. He was seen in his cell at 10. An hour later, the room was empty. He was gone.
All that was left was the table, cot, chair, and that odd piece of wall that looks like a person painted head to toe in the exact same color. It's uncanny, really.
Okay.
Ah, well, guess I'll leave the door open for the janitors and head out to lunch. Wendy's?
Sir, this is an insane asylum.
Okay. One Frosty, then. Just the Frosty, small.
But he couldn't have simply walked out of the place in broad daylight. No, said Nick, he couldn't. Was his door unlocked?
Crack investigator.
I asked the hard questions, like, did you totally be derelict in all your duties, or did you just fuck up once, Nick?
Did you try turning the prison on and off?
A tiny little fuck up? Was it a little stinky fuck up there, Nick?
Just a little teeny one.
It was not. It was locked, thank you very much, from the outside. As I told the previous prison investigator, when we came to investigate the report that he was gone, his window bars are all right, too.
I mean, they don't look bad, but they're all right. It's pretty low on the list of renovations, is all I'm saying. And besides, Joanna could just hang a random clock on it, and no one will care. Anyway, let's check in with Chip and see what he's doing. He always makes me laugh.
Yeah, guess that's what he's around for.
God help us. He's got the one killing people in that town because there's no way they have enough houses to renovate to make episodes.
It's very much a Murder, She Wrote situation, isn't it?
Yeah. And no one's investigated these guys. They give them a whole network. It's their reign will never of blood will never end.
You've searched the grounds? Hey, have you bothered to look around? I don't want to I feel guilty sort of prodding at you here, but have you looked for him at all? Of course. He isn't in them. He isn't in any of the buildings. Nobody saw him after 11 o'clock. He's just gone, with his cell still locked, so even a monkey couldn't slip out.
Whoa. Okay, all right. We gotta nail this down. What size monkey? And how much Crisco am I allowed to use? Because I think I can make this work.
Here's my initial offer.
Okay.
Cappuccino and tub.
Okay, so is this a tub?
Your move, Rob.
Tub of cappuccines.
No. No, that's the Crisco size, Rob. Okay. You must have some idea how you got away. No idea. Because it can't be done. Only it was.
But it can't. But it did. But it shan't. Only it's shit.
Is that a Rudyard Kipling? No?
No, it's just so. Just so me.
Can't, don't, shan't, won't.
Oh.
Pass it along the line, Ron.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was inspired. That's how smart I am.
I
didn't just want to put a dirty word in there for no reason.
Oh, that's all it was?
That's all it was.
That should be our motto. Oh, that's all it was?
That's amazing. That's pretty much all of our reviews on Apple Podcasts.
6 pages and an hour and a half for that? How am I going to get a story out of that? I asked. Hey, Nick, were you not thinking about me at all? You let this crazy guy escape out into the universe, possibly go kill himself, and you left me with, 2 lines?
And in the morning, I can't even get it until next day's paper. Nick. Come
Oh,
on, you're
come
killing
on,
me
Nick.
here.
See you in hell's anteroom, Nick. How in thunder would I know? That's your worry.
My worry is not getting caught for leaving the door wide open last night.
My worry is pension based.
Oh, no. Hey, don't say anything, will you? They're still pretty mad about it.
Put a cigarette between my lips, unlit, because Smokey wasn't permitted here. Yeah.
Oh, fascists must have taken that place over.
One mandates, am I right?
Nobody's mandating me
Huh.
or my daughter.
What in the world do you suppose he thought he was building? I mused. Nick snorted. Chrissy. Oh, that was funny, though.
It was.
And sexually charged.
Sure was. Socks and socks.
Socks
on
and
top.
socks. Oh, man. Forget the lady at all. You don't even need them. Socks and socks.
She had socks up to there.
Oh, her socks went all the way down to the floor. Nick snorted. I don't suppose anything about it. If I did, I'd be as crazy as he was. Well, there's your exclusive, if you know what to do with it.
I think I have an idea. Let's see. A good headline. A drunk prison guard totally responsible for escape of crazy man.
Oh, so you do know what to do with it. Okay. All right, I do need a lawyer.
See, that's how I do my journalism. I act super dumb the entire time until the end.
Just one more question about your gross negligence, if you don't mind. Sir, I didn't know what to do with it.
This is a very honest story.
Us neither.
The writer's just like, I don't know what to do with it.
So I finally handed it in as it stands now. This very story, in fact.
So
Typos and all.
and no facts.
Misspelling of the word gauge and everything. That's got to stay, I said. My editor said.
Nothing but integrity here. Hey, Mr. Editor, did you remember to turn the printing machine on? I'm just asking my normal questions.
Sure, you can change the headline from magical invisible device helps prisoner leave to escape, but you got to leave in that typo. That's where I draw the line. And the little man with the big visor at the editor's desk promptly handed it back. Not that I blame him.
No, I don't blame him. I blame myself for still continuing the story, even long after the point of which I should have turned it in.
Right.
Seems odd. I don't think I'm going to get a conclusion to any of this at all in any kind of satisfactory way.
What do you think the last line would have been then? Well, there's your exclusive if you know what to do with it, period. Is this continued on page 12?
I think, how am I going to get a story out of that?
Nobody ever saw Gannett again. Nobody ever thought of him again. He has a son and a daughter-in-law.
But no, hey, that's the perfect crime. You can't talk to anybody, Alan. Yeah.
Nobody ever thought of him again, I guess, except me. I had a rush of curiosity to the head a few days later. What?
They rush of curiosity to the head, yeah.
Is that what they're calling it? And went to his cell armed with a level and a steel rule.
And that steel rule was stop falling in love with mental inmates. It's just not meant to be.
A steel rule. This, Conan, this you can trust. The floor of the barred cubicle Gannett once occupied is 3/32 of an inch off level. Wow.
Yep.
Fucking, the therapist was dead the whole time, and it was 3/32 of an inch off level.
And the trees were trying to kill me. I told you.
Now, how do you suppose he could have determined that without tools of any kind to aid the naked eye?
That's how I like my stories to end. Rhetorical questions about measurement.
How short is too short? The end. That is.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what? The whole thing's in the title, Alan.
Escape.
Yep. That's it. Parentheses, a story that goes on for a while.
Rupert Holmes has a response to that. A lawsuit. Well, what do you think the moral of that story is, Rob?
Well, Alan, as you know, I'm incapable of learning a moral because of my lack of ethics. So I got a lesson out of this.
Okay.
If you're
good.
trying to get to really, bring someone into your plan of escape, maybe don't go with a reporter.
Right.
Go with someone more willing to immediately go with something crazy so they'll believe you, like a QAnon person or an FBI agent whose sister was abducted by aliens.
Reaching back there.
Yeah, someone no one will listen to. I think that's the lesson here.
I think that's a good lesson, Rob. But I think the real lesson here is that it's hard to get at. One might even say the lesson is intangible or invisible to the naked eye.
Or about 4 pages.
Totally avoided the topic of what that device could have been.
Yeah, that's what gets me. The entire story from Weird Tales magazine. And yeah, they don't even give you what it is. What do you think it was, Alan?
The most fantastic of devices, Rob. A plot device. All right. I am glad we're back. I'm glad we're here.
Feeling
I'm
it.
glad you're here with us. And we hope you'll join us again next time when we read you another interrupted.
All right. Let's see what they gave me in here. All right, we got invisible screws, and invisible shells, and invisible instructions.
Okay.
Now, and the invisible Allen wrench. Wait.
Oh.
They forgot to include it. Damn you, invisible Swedish bastards! That's the last time I don't even look at your invisible catalog.
Good invisible meatballs, though. Meatballs. Good invisible meatballs.
Oh, good invisible meatballs.
Boy, I'm never going to say that again, so I'm just going to savor the moment, Rob. Good invisible meatballs. Tail!